sure everything is in order. Testing, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's
How
fine.
do we sound?
We sound good. Synchronizing. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Whatever. It's there.
Cool.
We're here. Now we have video.
We do.
Yes. Welcome to the Monkey Bar episode, the 51 episode special, in memory of all those who died at Area 51 over a stupid meme or whatever. Is that still relevant? I think that meme is dead, though.
I caught like a reference to it recently, but I don't count for relevancy.
Yeah. But I think that's not even one thing that I wrote down that we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and cause if I forget, I have like that Facebook Messenger.
I memorized it actually.
Okay. You want to talk about Pro Jared?
I forgot about Pro Jared.
Yeah, apparently he released his response. It's 40 minutes long, and the title, apparently from what I've heard, he's able to it brings up some evidence that makes a lot of his accusations redeemable. I don't know. I guess his spouse did lie or whatever. I don't really care that much. It's just kind of funny because even if a lot of the information is true or all of it's true, the way he goes about it, the video they uploaded just says the title is just in all caps, "You've been lied to." And it's okay, that's a little bit even if you are right, then don't do that. It makes you look desperate.
Yeah.
That's what we do for our videos. I just do a shitty clickbait all caps title, something Spider-Man gets cool AIDS or something.
Or David Cage meme.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about Pro Jared anyway.
Yeah.
But speaking of Spider-Man and also AIDS, how's that segue? The AIDS-ridden cancer hole of Hollywood has decided to play Dick Lasso with Spider-Man's copyright IP. He's not going to be in the MCU anymore. So to cut a long story short.
So what the fuck are you gonna say? What happened? Oh, he gave up. He retired.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he was 16 and just decided to go into retirement.
Yeah, someone else should be Spider-Man. You see the mask float down a sewer drain, and it comes out on Long Island, and some black kid business. Wow, this would be cool if I had the powers.
I'm wondering if they might actually do Spider-Woman.
That'd be cool.
Because I don't think that Sony owns the right to Spider-Woman.
Now, you mean Spider-Woman, the Jessica one?
Yeah.
Wow, I know her fucking character name. Damn.
I think that's it.
Yeah, it's Jessica something.
It is going to be interesting, though, to see not only how Marvel circumvents that issue, but also what Sony's going to do now that they have Spider-Man back. I would love to actually see... I hesitantly say this, but it would be neat to see them do a live-action Spider-Verse spinoff with Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and maybe even bring in the Toho Spider-Man, Tokusatsu
Oh
Spider-Man.
My God. I'm sorry. That would be kind of awesome. I wouldn't mind seeing Spider-Man in a Venom movie.
Yeah, that... that was one question I had about the Tom Hardy Venom movie was how Venom takes on his appearance from Spider-Man's symbiotes, right?
Yeah, in the comics.
Right, but I guess they make that work somehow some other
They
way.
do. I like how they make it less generic webbing and more it's the tissue strands.
Mm-hmm. Kind of reminds me of JoJo's Part 6. Jolene actually has that ability. Because I remember this fan art of her using it's sort of like a Spider-Man reference, but her ability is sort of that version of Venom where she can uncoil parts of her body into string.
Oh God, that's horrifying
and
awesome.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, everything always comes back to JoJo.
Can we have a reveal that Mojo Jojo is a Joestar?
I'm pretty sure there's probably been fan art by now. Maybe Bleed Man's jumped on that.
The Mojo Jojo's back turned and the Powerpuff Girls did their thing. Is this the power of an enemy stand?
Yeah. But I was thinking about this on the way over here. Is that whenever we come in here to record an episode, we always come back to either Spider-Man or Evangelion or both, and that kind of ties back into our original mission statement of monster movies, if you think about it.
Kind of.
Where Evangelion is the kaiju end of things, and Spider-Man, there's kind of elements of universal horror in some Spider-Man stories.
I want that crossover, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Man-Spider is basically Wolfman or kind of story for Spider-Man.
I like when a character gets that like animalistic curse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something man hides the beast, fucked up philosophy.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like I'm actually kind of glad that Sony like got Spider-Man out of Disney's hands, because Disney, to me, like whenever I think about how much Disney owns, I just get kind of creeped out. Like when they got the rights to Fantastic Four and X-Men, I'm like, oh god, ugh.
They're just gonna fucking buy Sony at this rate.
Yeah, like that's what everybody says, and I'm not at all looking forward to that. Like
eventually, we will,
like in a world where like Amazon basically owns your soul, like the idea of like all these huge corporate entities just like picking apart the entire earth just feels like really creepy to me.
It's less cyberpunk and it's more. I always anthropomorphize the company almost in a way like it's eldritch gods battling for Earth.
I think about more the Combine from Fallout or from Half-Life 2.
I don't know much about Half-Life except G, man.
Yeah, well, Half-Life 2, all the Half-Life games, they have like this really neat backstory that you probably would miss if you play like just the first playthrough. Mm-hmm. But like, there's a lot of small details that really make the world like feel real. Like how the Combine are like, they basically are just stripping the Earth of all its resources. So there are levels like in like these dried up dock areas, like the shoreline is like super far back.
Oh,
and,
fuck.
Like, so like it shows that they're just draining the oceans and like all these really neat details, and like the whole like suppression field thing that there's like a field that like a microwave field that causes that makes women unable to like produce children, strips like the embryos or like the enzymes away or whatever.
That's really fucking cool.
Yeah, so like all these like neat little tiny details strewn about.
You know what also has some nice kind of details? Fucking Godzilla King of the Monsters. I'm sorry, I got it on DVD. But there's like these nice touches where until like the final few scenes, the skies are usually gray or for some form of pollution. Mm-hmm. They play up the environmental aspect. But I really like how you described Half-Life's Combine being the whole fucking like, take it all down, strip it.
For some reason, another movie just popped in my mind. You remember I Am Number 4? It was based off of this young adult novel series, and apparently the first... Like, there was only one adaptation, one film adaptation. I think Michael Bay was actually the producer of it. He didn't direct it, though.
What's it about?
It's about, like, this race of aliens, like, 6 or, like, 8 of them, like, come to Earth. And someone starts, like, picking them off one by one, going from 1 on up. And number 4 is the protagonist. He has to, like, find out who's doing this and stop them. And apparently, like, there's a final battle scene that, like, just keeps escalating further and further until, like, there's just, like, a straight-up kaiju battle at the end or something.
Kaiju battles are always nice.
Yeah.
More films should have them, like Downton Abbey. Just at the British people, like...
They do it like Pride and Prejudice with zombies, but it's Downton Abbey with zombies.
Yeah, and it cuts to, like, there's this guy named Lord Cravencroft or whatever who has a deep voice, and have him, like, walk out there in a mech suit, like... That'd be fucking awesome, like, or have, like, really posh British, and the French are turned into giant kaiju, and they battle in giant city robots.
Oh, yeah.
London Tower, the fucking cannon. Man.
Let's see, what else were we going to...
Detention.
Before we talk about that, I want to, like, ease into that a bit, because that's kind of obscure, but, like... I just remember I was been playing Mother 3, getting back to playing that.
How is it?
It's good. It's nowhere near as good as Earthbound, though. Even though Mother 3 has improved like battle mechanics, because like in Mother 3 you have the rhythm-based attacks where like you have the background music and you like press the button to the beat in order to get extra hits in. I really like that. I like that a lot. And it makes the combat more complex without like making it like tedious. I appreciate that with like turn-based games where you have like an extra bit of interaction instead of just press button.
Kind of like
attack.
the Mario and Luigi games.
Yeah, exactly. That I love the Mario and Luigi games.
I only recently got into them because of emulators. They're fucking hysterical games.
Yeah, they're really well written. Well, especially the first one. The first one is probably the best written.
Especially when Toad runs into Mario in the shower, and you know he saw Mario mushrooms.
Mm-hmm. Oh, great! It's Mario, and oh, you brought Luigi too. Super.
God.
That's another screenshot
I
keep
always
seeing.
play Luigi because of that.
Yeah, Luigi. Like everybody loves Luigi. Everybody really loves Waluigi too.
Oh fuck! They need to. I pitched Wario and Waluigi's game. No, Waluigi and Luigi brothers, and the whole game is like spy versus spy with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but with Mother 3, like I've been having to play that on an emulator, like a dirty criminal, because Nintendo still hasn't done a full release of it, official release. There's the translation patch, which, I mean, it's probably the best we're ever gonna get, like when it comes to like seeing Mother 3 in English. And I actually saw a theory or a couple of theories on why Nintendo hasn't localized it yet. And I think like the primary reason might be like these characters in Mother 3, the Magypsies, which are I think the official description is they're like aliens who are neither man nor woman, but they act like flamboyant gay men.
Oh,
like it's
that's no excuse of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, well, I mean that character. I know what you're talking about. I actually saw a recommended video saying like that character is like their most controversial character.
Bullshit. No, bullshit.
Yeah.
That's bullshit and shit.
Yeah, who would you say is Nintendo's most controversial character?
I'd throw Jinx in there. Not sure how high. Jinx would be one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Jinx is probably up there because.
Would you say it's a character though?
Kind of. Pokemon or both characters. There's no grandmother going like, "Oh, look at the Pikachus. It's a cute Pikachu. Oh, look at Pikachu. Look how cute he is."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. But there's a difference between Pikachu and basically every other Pokemon. Yeah. Except for maybe Eevee. Like the popular ones, like you identify them as characters.
Yeah.
But all like 800 others, like they're just like.
Who would you say is outside of Bolson and Jinx? His name is Bolson, by the way.
I mean, I would say the Magypsies are probably the worst. Like.
Yeah.
But other than that,
well, we were gay carpenters, man. Ocarina of Time.
They weren't like actually gay though. They were like. I mean, they weren't like village people gay even.
Yeah,
That's
but
like,
they were described as gay carpenters quite a bit.
Were they really?
Yeah, apparently there's a stink about that. That's what Bolson's inspired by.
And the only like thing that like I remember being kind of weird was how the Gerudo women abducted them to rape them. And
no, I know who I'm thinking about. I know who I'm thinking about would be one of the more controversial ones. The original version of a Skull Kid that has mask in Majora's Mask. They give him a beak in later versions or the American version because in black, in Japanese.
Oh yeah, the.
Yeah.
Yeah, like. But yeah, back in the Magypsies, like they are so annoying and awful that they would actually. I think they actually dock a point from me on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh,
just for existing alone. They're the Jar Jar Binks of that game. Like I'm not even joking. They're that bad.
Did we go like, ooh, Misa gonna help you take it down the Gygax or whatever the fuck his name is?
It's like, oh, Flinty Poo.
Oh God, shoot them.
Yeah, literally like that. Like you can hear it in your brain, like that. Yeah. Ugh.
But is it nail scratching?
Yeah. I would.
Are you glad they aren't voiced?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Like if there was a remake that just removed them completely, I would be all for it.
Or maybe just have like one, but he doesn't talk to the other. Like the fucking genocide was bad, man.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, maybe not that word, but yeah.
But yeah, it reminds me of the Mother 4 project, which was a fan sequel to the Mother series. And I think that it was a couple of years ago when Nintendo started cracking down on fan games that they stopped,
Yeah.
or they said that they were going to reformat it to be its own game, that disconnected from the Mother series. But I haven't heard anything from them since. So it's either the project's dead or like they're hard at work because like they're doing it for free. They're going to give it away for free. So it's a volunteer-based project, which explains why it's taken so long. And
Yeah.
like they're not asking for money, so I think that that's cool. If they're still doing it, then I wish them the best of luck.
Same. I completely 100% endorse fan projects like that. Mm-hmm. I like seeing creativity. I like seeing this world inspired me to do this.
Mm-hmm. I think that, like the only other like with Mother 3, the only other problem I have with it is that it just doesn't capture that magic that Earthbound has of like sort of contemporary fantasy stuff where it's like, you know, just a bunch of kids, they go off on an adventure. Instead of magic, they have psychic powers. It kind of captures that feeling of like going out into the backyard or the woods and like playing pretend with your friends.
It also, I heard one of my friends described as vaguely JoJo-esque.
Yeah, I think that that's somewhat appropriate.
Yeah.
Mob Psycho 100 probably like takes influence from it the most, from Earthbound. And that it's just about like this kid with psychic powers who has to deal with like this weird neighborhood that he lives in, all these weird people. I think that that's actually done by the creator One Punch Man, if you remember.
Yeah. I don't really like One Punch Man. I fucking love the art.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the story. I like the character designs more than I like the characters.
See, that's I'd say the opposite actually. I think that
I mean, I like the villains.
Yeah. But I think that the writing of One Punch Man I like better than the art. Same with Mob Psycho, but yeah, like the animated series of Mob Psycho. Whatever. I'm sorry, but I'm feeling kind of tired today. I'm just not sleeping well. I've had I haven't been able to use my sleep apnea mouth guards. So I'm just like not able to breathe properly when I'm sleeping.
Oh man,
so that's really
a fucking bitch. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. Also, it's kind of hot in here. I'd like to open the door, but unless like either of us start getting heat stroke, I just want to leave it closed because we got some spicy discussions going on.
Could I mention what I've been playing?
Sure.
I've been playing the Resident Evil remake on PC as a randomizer. Can I tell you what's really fucking fun? Have you played Resident Evil remake?
The first one?
Yeah.
No.
So there's a room that's the kitchen, and there's a table set up like this. And around there is a tiny little room. So have you played any of Resident Evils or the first one? Have you played the first one at all?
No.
There's a fucking giant snake boss. The fucking giant snake boss spawns 3 motherfucking times in the same fucking room. Their venom can only be cured by a cutscene or a special item. Guess what the fuck happens if you don't have that item or you get early because it throws out the sequence?
You die?
Yes, you have a poison ailment you can't get rid of. Because the randomizer, it does stuff like that. Also, I walked into a room and the final boss was there, and I turned left. Pokemon randomizers are fun. My favorite, if you ever get the chance, is for Emerald. It switches Pokemon typing, too. Imagine trying to fight a fucking ghost-type Psyduck. Yeah.
I haven't played any randomizers. I've seen gameplay of them, and it looks fun.
It is. I just really like it. Makes the game new again.
You want to talk about the animated series that I mentioned to you?
Yep.
The tension. It's for some reason this popped into my head like a couple nights ago. And it's one of these series that'll pop into my head like for no reason whatsoever every like couple of months.
Is it because the goth girl?
It's funny because like when I was thinking about it, I was like, is the main character a goth girl? No, that doesn't seem right. Because like
then you look it up and it's like, oh wait,
yeah, she is goth. And it's like it's weird because you often associate goth characters, even goth girls, as like secondary characters or support, like the weird friend or supporting characters. So you think of like Danny Phantom or the only series I can think of where the main character is a goth is probably Ruby Gloom. Or maybe Ruby. Ruby doesn't really count.
Wasn't there that one that was like a fucking like they lived in a weird fucking? Do you count like Addams Family as goths?
I'd say it's more goth culture than goth characters.
I see.
They're more gothic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, goth characters are usually that, second fiddle.
Yeah. Gaz is another good example from Invader Zim. I guess she counts as goth. I don't know.
I want to watch that Netflix special on Invaders.
Yeah, it's good. Did we talk about that?
No, we
time?
talked about Rocco.
Right. But and I mentioned then that I wasn't optimistic for the Invader Zim one, but this one it's much, much better.
I'm gonna watch it. Maybe we're gonna talk about that next time.
Yeah, I don't want to give too much of my opinions to influence what you think of it.
Just would you say it's true to the original?
Not necessarily, but it works for what it is. I would say that if you've watched, if you've gone back and watched the classic episodes recently, then I would say put some preconceptions aside because it has a noticeably different tone. The art style is also different, both of which were Jonan Vasquez's personal his personal growth, and as much as I do kind of. Well, it's good for what it is.
Cool.
I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Detention, I went back and watched the first episode of that, and it's okay. I would say it's above average, especially.
Isn't it weird how... I'm sorry. I looked it up on TV tropes, but isn't it weird how a lot of the characters... no, not even TV tropes. I was on Wikipedia when I looked it up. How a lot of the characters seem like they took characters from other shows.
Yeah.
The main characters from Danny Phantom, there's the Kenny kid with Yo-Yo. Mm-hmm. You have the crazy kid from Invader Zim.
Mm-hmm. A lot of those cases, those came afterward, because Detention was in 99.
Really?
Yeah. It definitely feels like a cartoon from the late 90s, early 2000s. But like you mentioned, the kid with the yo-yo, he actually looks like Ferb from Phineas and Ferb.
He does.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
A lot of big name voice actors voice the characters.
Wasn't there Tina, Tiffany?
The main character.
Strong.
Yeah, Tara Strong voices the main character, Sharina. Carlos Elazraqui, the voice of Rocco. Mm-hmm. He voices the punk Hispanic kid who just wants to beat up everybody. Who else?
I think I was friends with that kid growing up.
Billy West voices one of the characters. And also Kathleen Turner. I don't know if that's her voice. I remember her from As Told by Ginger, who played the teacher, Miss Gordon. She plays the detention teacher.
Kill a Kitty.
Kiskilia.
Oh, Kiskilia.
Yeah. Kill la kill. Yes.
God.
Whatever. But yeah, it's surprisingly mellow for a kids show at that time. So it made me think of As Told by Ginger. I remember it being more laid back, but yeah, it's not as laid back as Told by Ginger, or from what I could tell from the first episode, it doesn't do as much character study stuff.
There's an episode about them trying to hunt down a cyborg teacher, or they think the teacher's a cyborg.
Yeah, so more out there stuff than Is Told by Ginger, which I'm okay with. It's what kind of makes it kind of mediocre to me, in my opinion. It doesn't do as much it tries to do a lot of things. I mean, I'm just going by the first episode, so
first episodes are really rough in my opinion because they do the shotgun, this idea. Now which do we follow?
Mm-hmm. And the problem is that it only lasted one season. So.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. Which is is probably not a bad thing considering that the voice actor for Miss Kiskilia died a couple years later.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they did a really nice send off for her in that the As Told by Ginger episodes. It was in production before she died, mm-hmm. And it was a really neat. It was kind of a shocking thing, but they gave her a send off at the end.
Did they kill her on camera?
Yeah. And it was announced by the principal in that episode right at the end. And it was really sad because that whole episode was about Carl just pulling a mean prank on her and made her quit. But he spends the whole episode trying to get her to come back. She finally accepts near the end. And then right at the end, the principal says, she died. And then it's just holds on Carl's just shocked expression. Cuts the credits.
Oh, fuck, I like that.
Yeah,
I need to watch that.
As Told by Ginger, it had a lot of balls to do a lot of the stuff in that show. There was like a lot of very real moments, and I've been wanting to do like a video on it for a while, just like to highlight, because whenever I see As Told by Ginger come up, everybody says, oh, the character designs look ugly. It's like her lips are at the bottom of her chin.
Is it as ugly as Big Head?
No. As what?
Big Head or
the fatheads?
Small mouth, big mouth.
Oh,
the Netflix show that looks
no,
like...
it's funny because I was thinking about that when people were pointing out it's Big Mouth, saying, oh, the character designs look ugly. And I'm like, yeah, it looks worse than As Told by Ginger, which was a great show, despite...
Yeah, a lot of... I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sound like I'm cutting you off. But there's a lot of people who dismiss a show by how ugly it is. Mm-hmm. But if a show looks like shit, sounds like shit, and a story's shit, it may be shit.
Yeah, I highly recommend As Told by Ginger. I hope that it eventually gets like a good re-release through like DVDs or something.
Netflix special?
No, I would be okay with that. Actually, no. Now that I think about it, there'd be a really easy way to screw that up.
How?
But, like just going PC, I guess. It could be an easy show to do with that. I could easily see somebody being like, let's put more of this, more of that. And it's like the original series was able to be more level-headed with that stuff. And just like, kind of makes me think of like when Static Shock would do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where it was only a few episodes I can think of where it was like a little bit heavy-handed. The school shooter episode is the one that comes to mind.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Man, Static Shock is a great fucking show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, was he a character before that in the comics, or was he original?
Yeah, he was a comic character. It wasn't with DC, though. I think DC eventually bought the publishing company that published Static Shock initially. I actually mentioned Static Shock to the guy who created Black Lightning. He was at NeoCon, and he was mentioning... there were two things that I took away from like talking with him. It was that he hates Black Lightning's portrayal in Young Justice. Mm-hmm. He loves his portrayal in Legends of Tomorrow or whatever it's called. But I also brought up Static Shock and how that episode with Soul Power, the old hero with who's like surfed the telephone poles.
Yeah,
that was actually going to be Black Lightning initially. But I guess they changed it. They couldn't get the rights or whatever, so they made him his own character. It was going to initially be Static Shock teaming up with Black Lightning in that episode.
That would have been fucking cool.
Yeah.
Now, you know how you hate when they do the mythos thing in comics, right?
What?
Where they mythicize characters in comics?
Yeah, when they like elevate them above like...
Do you like when they do generational things like that?
I think that's fine.
I like it when it's done well, like the whole passing the torch thing.
Yeah. I mean, when they do it in like the mythic stuff in the story, because like one of my favorite graphic novels is Flux Mentallo, and that does it a lot. So
Flux Mentallo?
Flux Mentallo is Grant Morrison's sort of it was sort of his own like essay about superheroes and superhero mythology in a story comic, and sorry. But it's a really good comic, even though it does like go into like, or maybe it's good because it goes like that deep into like mythos by building its own thing. And I don't know, it's just like when you take that outside of the stories, when you say when you tell a writer you can't write this story because of this in a comic written by somebody else.
Can I tell you why you shouldn't do that? Because if you follow comics slavishly, Y2K happened in Marvel and Iron Man's suit went on a rampage. What the fuck?
Yeah. But yeah, the tension. I don't know if I recommend it. It's a quaint little show. I would like to do a video on that too. I mean, there's a lot of...
You could do like a compare and contrast of it too.
Yeah. Well, it's like talking about As Told by Ginger. It reminds me of, I think it was one of the creators of Rugrats. It wasn't Klasky Supo. It was Paul Germain. I remember I forgot his name a while back when I brought him up before, but Paul Germain was known for like doing the bulk of the heavy lifting with the writing, making the characters actually feel like characters. And when they booted him, then like the writing really went downhill. It completely lost its popularity. It was after the movie, I think, with Rugrats, and I think he was talking about it was either him or someone else who worked on Rugrats, but All Grown Up. You remember that? The spinoff series.
Oh fuck yeah!
And he was saying like how As Told by a Ginger is the way to do that right. Is that the character, and I would agree with him, because like the characters in As Told by a Ginger, they feel real like young adults or real teenage characters.
That's kind of why I like and hate Ava in equal measure. Because the characters are so fucking real, but simultaneously you want to strangle half of them.
Mm-hmm.
Except Gendo. You cannot fault Gendo. Gendo did nothing wrong.
Uh-huh. You ever watch Foolie Cooley?
FLCL?
Yeah.
I remember when that came out because one of my friends had a fucking panic attack over it. Because he thought, according to a mistranslation, the robot didn't come out of his forehead, it came out of his dick. And I made a joke about that to a teacher and mentioned him. And, oh, you're gonna fucking kill me! It's a dick joke. It's not like they're gonna fucking, like, hang you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I watched it last year.
Is it good?
It's okay. It's not my cup of tea. I did a whole video on it, sort of just rambling to my camera after I watched the final episode, saying, it's okay. It's not. I see what they were trying to do, but for me personally, I didn't really like it that much.
Was it trying to be like too rockish? Or
yeah, it was ADHD the series, but I think that it requires a specific taste, because like the bits and pieces that what they were like. Because like when I took a step back from it, I could appreciate it a bit more. It's just when I'm in the thick of it, I'm like, no, it's annoying. I want to just cover my ears and just.
There's some things
I'm old.
that I don't like, but I can still respect. I cannot stand, fucking Fast and the Furious, but I can respect that it brings so much people joy. I mean, I'll probably watch that movie. Fucking Rock and Hobbs.
Yeah, Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw, because my mom fucking loves The Rock.
Mm-hmm. I thought you said you already saw that.
No. We didn't yet.
Okay.
We're going to probably.
Mm-hmm. I saw there was a new trailer for the Joker movie.
How's it look?
I haven't seen the trailer. I want to sort of
avoid spoilers.
Avoid trailers from now on.
Are we gonna do the Richard?
Nah, I'm not that finicky when it comes to that.
Dude, I wonder if we're gonna do Batman that movie or have some form of vigilante reference.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe they'll do it like more subtly.
They might like have like a background reference or something.
Yeah. Oh, they could show the theater, playing Bats, the musical that had in the time of Bruce Wayne had a really creepy CG remake. Oh man, have you seen that Cats trailer yet?
I haven't seen the trailer. I just saw the screenshots.
I saw the trailer. In motion, it's kind of worse. My mom watched it with me, and this is when I don't remember what movie we did. I don't remember, but we're watching. No, it was Lion King. We're watching it, and she turns over and says, "Is this one of those furry things?"
Mm-hmm. It makes me realize that the reason that Disney musical numbers and the Disney animated stuff, the reason they kept doing that is because that's probably the only medium outside of the actual theater that you can show a musical number done right.
There are some exceptions. I really, really like Sweeney Todd.
Yeah. I think it's like when you take the more abstract set pieces.
Oh, yeah.
I think like Jesus Christ Superstar, there's a lot of like really postmodern moments in that. They're like really abstract, and I think that if they did an animated or unless there already is an animated version.
There's not.
Okay.
The two they have is fucking Tanks in the Desert and fucking Nazis with really deep voices.
But yeah, like when you have moments where the character is singing and he goes into space and like there's all like you can't really do that with CGI. It looks weird.
Yeah, like
he's going into space. There's all these like spaceships flying with ribbons behind them.
I just pictured Jesus flying for some reason. Like he did the fucking. No.
She goes, I have the power of Christ because that's who I am.
Have you seen Jesus Christ Superstar?
No.
It has one really good song. The opening song is what I love so much. It's basically pointing out, yeah, Jesus is kind of weird if you look at it from some angles, the whole story. And then there's a scene of, when he rampaged in the temple thing. That's fucking funny to me out of context of Jesus smashing all your shit.
I mean, I haven't seen Repo the Genetic Opera, but
fucking good.
Yeah, it probably works because it is a really weird movie.
I have really shitty taste in movies, so I like Repo and Devil's Carnival.
I mean, it's a cult classic from what I understand. So.
Yeah.
And it was made for like, what, 15 million? Or like
Yeah.
5 million? It was like for a pretty low budget.
Like the Saw producers worked on it, actually. And, yeah, and those guys know how to stretch a fucking dollar. We can make a movie about two guys chained to a wall and have it be a franchise.
Yeah.
Who ordered pizza? Sorry, I'm drifting to Repo. Yeah.
See, what else is there to talk about? Yeah, we got a ton of time to fill.
It's weird having a camera,
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. It's kind of I kind of tune it out. I'm so used to talking, sitting down at the table and talking through the microphones that it's basically not even there to me.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Which probably makes me look 100 times stupider, but oh well.
I'm trying to keep y'all in here.
What else? I guess we could talk about what we're working on creatively, the creative process segments.
I'll go first because I enjoy throwing my shit into the fire. I've been returning to Brass and Bones, which is a story about... It came to me... I was talking with Richard the other day, and he was talking. He said, if you really think about it, humans are an infestation. I said, wow, that's cool. And I'm building a universe where it's like, Star Trek is that peace and ideology. No. Everyone's at fucking Cold War, and then humans show up. And the issue is humans have better guns. Where the story takes place is two mercenaries get involved in a war with a planet that's been having an 800-year nuclear war. Yeah. One is, I describe as Samuel Jackson fused with Master Chief, and the other is Trevor from Grand Theft Auto, but Norse.
Well, that first one, you could just say Sergeant Johnson.
Fuck.
That's Predator fused with... the guy from the Predator fused with Master Chief.
Just more motherfucking than him. I forgot Sergeant Johnson.
Yeah, he's a good character. He had a great send-off in the third game.
I only really know Halo 3 the most.
Yeah. Like, there's a reason that... that's probably the reason that I sort of see the Halo trilogy as one of my favorite trilogies in video games. Just because it has such a perfect ending. And then they had to ruin it by making Halo 4, which is still a pretty good game from what I remember.
But it ruins the fucking ending.
Yeah.
You can't have the cake and eat it too.
But you can have the cake and eat it too. Ugh, I'm sorry for that.
No, I did that. I did it on purpose.
Yeah. What I'm working on right now is still the same thing, the comic. Your commission too. I haven't forgotten about that.
I've been trying not to press you over it, man.
It's fine. Yeah, but I'm also I'm doing the comic. I want to do just crank down on the schedule because of my birthday recently. I've been realizing, hey, I'm not getting any younger, so I'm going to die someday. I need to finish this fucking thing before I get too old to hold a pencil.
And you turn into the mirror and you're getting a gray Confucius beard.
Yeah, suddenly the face app is in the mirror.
God, no!
I need to run my face through that just to give myself a warning.
Yeah, I look just like my fucking grandfather. It's like, no! Sorry, I'm not doing it right.
Have you done the girl version?
I did actually, and I look just like my mom. My mom, me, and my grandfather all have the same face in different states of decomposition.
I mean, it makes sense.
God.
At least you know you're not. At least that's how you know you're not adopted.
Good. Right, the old joke. Dad, am I adopted? Who the fuck would want you? Man, I've been trying to focus on cranking out a setting that also I'm trying to think of how to make it market appeal. And so my goal is Firefly-esque humans, Star Trek-esque aliens with a giant fucking clusterfuck war. You know what bothers me about a lot of sci-fi? I hate the idea of the universal translators, but I understand why they have them. Because, what if someone starts like, oh, in this word it means this, and it doesn't have a correct correlation to your language?
It would be neat to see that, like with Google Translate, except with alien language.
And picture the 9-foot-tall monster walking, it's just like, kill, chicken kill. It's trying to say, we killed a chicken and we wish to bring it to you for supper.
Yeah.
And you panic and you shoot him and you kill the diplomat. And you have to bury him out in the desert with the other diplomats.
Yeah, that'd be a neat idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the comic, that is one thing I'm working on. Getting better I'm revisiting this one page, the first page that I did a while ago. Just trying to fix the line work there.
I remember
The mall scene.
From memory, it was very vertical.
Yeah.
Very horizontal.
Yeah, had some straight lines to it, and there are some points that I want to go back and fix. Like the trees in the first panel, they look like the line work is like really thick and precise, and I wanted to just eliminate those or like just redo those completely. There are a few panels that I just want to redo completely because I'm actually like trying to reformat it for Webtoon formats.
Could I offer a suggestion? I would. I remember the scene where isn't there like a panel where it's like flat and then you have like zoom by on the hoverboard?
Yeah.
I would make it so there's a little bit of rubble in those.
Yeah.
Maybe, even like an overturned trash can. Something to throw in visual interest and show, this place be decayed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did want to go back and make it look more decayed, like have more vines growing everywhere. Because the way it looks right now, it looks like it was abandoned for just like a couple of years. When it's been abandoned for like 50 years. So
probably throw in a couple animal nests.
Yeah, I can do that. The thing is, I'm also trying to reevaluate my workflow because I've noticed, and there's a certain person on the Shit Webcomics Discord who always gets made fun of because, and I think like his failed comic is kind of the namesake of the Inevitably Doomed project, because that's what they were saying about his comic, is that he didn't have a consistent work schedule or work setup. And they said, your shit's inevitably doomed if you don't fix this. And of course, he gave up after like doing 10 pages. And you can see that a lot of his backgrounds were very meticulously done to the point where it looks like he spent like weeks doing just one page. And I want to like eliminate that, where I want to be able to finish a page in less than a week, or work my way up to where I can finish like a couple of pages a week.
That's why I prefer to be a writer, because I know that I am inherently a lazy creature.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of my worst fears.
Just remind yourself that you're going to die someday.
Go to the graveyard like Bruce Wayne, and they're going, and they go, "Who are you mourning?" I said, "Myself in 20 years."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's my strategy right now. So I'll let you know.
Mortality and existential crises are two friends of mine.
Yeah, I'll let you know in a week how much it's paid off.
Most certainly. Also, if you're wondering what this is, that noise, I've been trying to do Blender stuff and also visualize part of my comic. I have a character in the thing that has a fucking like shoulder-mounted turret, and I'm trying to think of how that would work like logistically. So I took out my old Bionicles and I made this abomination. It's also a good fidget.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna do a Lego Bionicles movie.
They should. They fucking should.
I could see like the fan demand at least.
Yeah, like. Fuck, look at what it appeals to. You have fucking like Maori or Polynesian culture, because I'm not going to say that fucking name. And you get fucking robots and gods and magic. And you can have like, oh my god, Kopaka. Remember Kopaka?
Yeah. There's like, it'll be interesting to see if they're able to do the original Bionicles again, because I remember that like language or that culture was like angry for them using like those that language.
You know what I would do? I would have Rock play one of the characters and try and use that to ease in. Like, pay a lot of homage, but pay more homage than take.
Yeah.
You know.
I Oh, yeah, and they should have the sexy Bionicles in there too.
Have a cantina like theme, but they have like a bunch of Bionicle strippers.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a cool villain. Like like he steals like one of Mask of Power, but it can't fit in his big fat face, so he wears it around his neck like a bling. Oh, that'd be Bionicle Lego. You have a scriptwriter here. I'd fucking do it.
Yeah. That's like I was actually thinking about that JoJo's movie idea I had.
Yeah.
There was gonna be an American version of it, so I could see it. I have a script idea that I could jump on if Hollywood will hire me.
You know what I would do a fucking script for? What I would love to? I would like to do a Full Metal Alchemist script, and I want a train robbery scene with fucking alchemists.
Well, I mean that actually does happen in one of the first episodes.
That'd be like yeah. Fucking alchemists are fucking awesome in Full Metal.
Yeah.
They'd be fucking awesome thieves.
I was actually watching a video series about like comparing the Brotherhood anime to the original 2003 anime, and the guy was making a good case for the original 2003 anime because there's stuff that they do in the 03 anime that actually is a lot better than the Brotherhood one.
Like they made who is Führer? Who did they make Führer?
King Bradley is Führer. He's in both of those, except he's instead of Wrath, he's Pride in the 2003 version.
I like them more.
Yeah,
I really fucking like Full Metal has a lot of aesthetics I like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man.
Would you say it's steampunk?
No, it's diesel punk.
Yeah.
I love steampunk, but you give me all them diesel punk, that elf punk, give me that sword punk.
Does Adolf Hitler show up in the 03 anime? Or is that the movie?
Technically, that's the 03's continuity.
Yeah.
Fucking Adolf Hitler, I forget about that. Wolfenstein, oh my god, Wolfenstein, but it takes place in Full Metal Alchemist. A Full Metal Alchemist game where you play as an alchemist but has Wolfenstein-like shooting. And you can do like alchemy and you can make what's your thing? I'm the turret alchemist. They call him Gun Barrel. Man.
Yeah.
You ever play Binding of Isaac?
No. I've seen gameplay of it though.
It's a fucking like horrifying game, like legitimately horrifying.
Yeah, that was done by Newgrounds guys.
Yeah, it was done by Super Meat Boy.
Yeah.
I forget his name.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Michael something.
Edmund.
Okay. Yeah.
Edmund, whatever. You know what I always wonder about in the universes I write? I wonder, like, what would it be like to be a scoundrel, like a Star Wars kind of scoundrel? Speaking of that, did you see the Mandalorian trailer?
No, not yet, no.
It is possibly the first thing to get me excited for a Star Wars thing in years. Can I mention one thing that happened in the trailer? A guy gets fucking bisected by a door. I'm like...
And finally, some gore in Star Wars.
Yeah, because like, they always use lightsabers and there's no gore. But I'm like a Mandalorian. Bam, bam. I'm not sure who it is because they show the character, but I'm not that big a Star Wars. And they go, oh my god, it's woo! It's not Boba Fett or Jango Fett.
Okay.
It's someone's Fett. I know it's going to be a Fett. Fett. His name is Chini Fett.
How did I know you were going to go there?
Because it's the most obvious joke. Oh, man. I wonder what the world would have been like if Mother 3 came over and was a gigantic, flop or some shit like that. We finally get Mother 3, but everyone's like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, like, we wouldn't have so many Mother 3 jokes about Reggie, though.
Dude. Doug Bowser, do we have any of those of him yet?
Yeah.
Just he walks over to his desk and it's this pile of Mother 3.
I was wondering that myself, if he has to deal with all the fans like emailing him constantly about Mother 3. I don't even know if it's if the fans are even emailing the right guys now.
Just picture if Reggie came home and his wife and kids were missing, and he picked up the phone like this because he's got his giant monster hands. Like, where's Mother 3?
Listen, I don't know who you are, but I'm going to go play Animal Crossing on my 3DS now. Goodbye. Yeah.
Oh my god. I fucking love Reggie, and I kind of like Doug Bowser too.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he liked Bowser when he was a kid, and you gotta say he Doug Bowser.
Okay. Oh, Minecraft.
Oh yeah. Oh, Minecraft. Yeah.
There's a new update with bees now.
Can I make a prediction? There's going to be a fucking mod for having them talk like Jerry Seinfeld, isn't there?
Maybe. I'm guessing.
Is there gonna be a mod where you go like, "Do you like jazz?"
Oh, I can see that being a very real and very annoying possibility.
Yeah.
Seems like Minecraft's been having a resurgence lately. It has to do with PewDiePie playing it again.
Man, how come we can't have PewDiePie play Dwarf Fortress?
Nah. Yeah, that should be the next thing on his list.
God.
It's probably like I can see some bigger YouTubers picking it up once it gets released on Steam, though.
Yeah, they're gonna like it when it has proper graphics and not like tile packs.
Yeah, yeah. The ASCII art hurts my eyes. I don't know if I've said before.
Yeah, you can get tiles for graphics. I like ASCII because there's like a moment you're not a true nerd until you can go, "Hey, there's a goblin." And what happens is you fucking grow like a foot-long beard, and you get horned helmet drop on your head, and you get an axe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's more imagination that way. Is the benefit I've heard for the ASCII stuff.
Yeah, and also it's kind of fun when you can spell out a message using enslaved animals. You can actually someone put "fucker" in the pussy with caged animals.
See, what else can we talk about?
I have a question about Minecraft.
Yeah.
What do you think made Minecraft last all these years? Like, what creative part of it is what drew people, you think?
Well, it's the creative part of it.
It's
actually.
just being able to build?
You can make anything you want in it, pretty much. There's a lot of room for, there's a lot of different ways you can approach it, I think, is the benefits. Because it's like you're just dropped into this world and you can go about it any way you want. I think that's probably the primary thing that made it, gave it its staying power.
I've been really playing Don't Starve again, and I can see a lot of similarities. Minecraft revolutionized the survival genre in a way. If not fucking created it.
Yeah. I think Minecraft came before Rust, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think by a bit.
So yeah, after those two got big, then basically every other AAA studio started imitating them.
Yeah, I want to have a fucking instead of Metal Gear Survive, I want fucking Mario Party Survive.
That would be neat.
It's a Mario. Have Bowser shot down my castle. Now I'm fucking stuck in this island full of evil Goombas.
I know even Dragon Quest has a Minecraft spin-off now.
Yeah, fucking Dragon Quest of all games. You know what needs a Minecraft spin-off? Fucking Pokemon.
I mean, I'll take any Pokemon game that's not that's something different. 'Cause it's been a long time since there was not counting Pokemon Go, I can't think of any other Pokemon spin-offs that there have been.
You know what I want? I want another game like Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Coliseum.
I'd love a Pokemon Snap too.
Oh, that'd be good. I love Snap. But there's a...
It'd be neat if there was a mod for Pokemon Go that was like that.
Oh, man. That'd be cool. It'd be hard as hell to rig, but it'd be cool. But can I tell you why I want to have a new stadium game? There is nothing like seeing, look at the little pixel guy, and seeing your Torterra stomp into the field and get one-shotted by your stepbrother's level 100 modded Palkia. Or, there's just something else about seeing your Pokemon move. Brings a tear to my nerdy eye.
Speaking about Nintendo games, I would love to see a new and different Star Fox game. One that's not just a remake of 64.
You know what I like for Star Fox? Like Star Fox Adventures.
I kind of have a soft spot for Star Fox Adventures.
It was one of my first GameCube games.
Yeah.
You know what I would do for a Star Fox game? Make a character.
Oh yeah, and make your own character. That'd be neat.
And immediately a lot of people buy it for that alone, but you make your own character and you get to either join Star Wolf or Star Fox. And you do missions on this new frontier.
Yeah.
And you could travel to 8 different planets and fight different bosses.
Yeah, that'd be neat. and make it sort of like Star Fox meets No Man's Sky.
Kind
almost.
of.
Yeah.
I see you've been playing No Man's Sky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good game.
How do you like the new update?
It's nice. You can finally play at 60 frames a second, which is a godsend to me.
God.
It's it is kind of like Space Minecraft, but there's a bit more to it than that.
I really like I like encountering randomly generated alien fauna. Mm-hmm. It pleases me.
Yeah. I like some of the dog fights you can get into in space.
I hate those fucking players. You know the ones that gank you? Mm-hmm. I play offline because of their assholes. Ah. I'm that bitter.
Yeah. Well, the first couple of times that I've been able to win because when I was mining asteroids, but they were around the space stations. So whenever somebody came in to shoot at me, then you have 5 other AI spaceships shooting at him.
Yeah, I really want to get one of those ships and those cruisers and get my own fucking fleet and just fucking hunt down that one guy. I like to play my dude I role play in my head when I play games like that. I play a science geek. My guy does science. Mm-hmm. That is my position. That is my job is science.
Yeah, I think that's the role play element is probably why I prefer Fallout 3 over Fallout 4.
I like New Vegas to free in that case.
Yeah, I mean New Vegas is the best out of those. With New Vegas right now, I'm still in that canyon. Is it Lonesome Road that you meet Joshua?
There's a mod coming out that you should know about. It is adding almost a new expansion. It's so big, and it connects to all the other ones.
Is that New California?
I think the one that I'm thinking about. I don't remember its name. It's been years since I looked into the mod. It had this whole quest about being caught by a slave group. And you're in there, and the worst part is that they do every Superman commands hello, I am an except for Strong, right? This guy's worse than Strong. He's me want to eat you! Mm-hmm. And you have to fucking work with him to get out. And it's a really brutal mod apparently, but a really good one. Hey, what's your favorite Fallout DLC from 3 and 4? And maybe even New Vegas? Let's do 3 first.
Let's see, from 3, I have to think for a minute because it's been a while since I've played 3. Remind me which
Anchorage, Mothership Zeta, and the Pit.
I think the only one of those 3 that I played all the way through was Anchorage. So I guess that's
get the cool armor.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Well, I remember it's funny because with Anchorage, the part where you unlock the safe room with the winterized armor, and there's the argument outside, and I completely missed it. Where the guy betrays everybody else, and you remember that part?
No.
Where it's you go after you finish the VR thing, and the armor room unlocks.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's this guy who betrays the group that's hunkered down that base, and there's a shootout, and I'm I think it's 1 minute into that shootout. I'm oh wait, something's going on.
Did you hear something as you're looting the whole building?
Yeah, as I'm looting everything, it's hey, you better get out of here. And it's oh, you betrayed. But it's just hey, you've been. I'm oh yeah, loot. Yeah.
My favorite's the Pit because you meet there's this whole part that I love is that you meet this dude who's I'm Snake Plissken. I almost call him Iroquois Plissken. And then you meet the villain who's hey, I might be a slave lord, but I actually fucking take care of my people. And he's as hard as big iron on my hip, walking around saving everyone. I fucking help the bad guy. I help the objectively lesser of the 2 evils. Yeah, and Mothership Zeta, in my opinion, is my least favorite part of that entire game.
Yeah.
Except for role playing as a fucking samurai by killing the dude and stealing.
Yeah.
Just playing the weeb.
Mm-hmm.
You have to play the really pale white dude to do it too.
Oh yeah.
What's your favorite New Vegas DLC? Have you played through them all yet?
Not all of them, no.
Are you in the one where you meet the Burn Man?
Yeah, Joshua Graham. I think that's Lonesome Road.
Yeah, that's Lonesome Road. How do you like it so far?
It's kind of annoying right now because I'm just trying to get back to the main game, I guess.
Yeah, I'm okay on those DLCs. I really like Dead Money.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with that one yet?
I've heard that I think it's the best one of them, so I haven't gotten into it yet, though.
It's got some great fucking character lines, and I always love... I wish you could take those companions elsewhere, but they only give them so many lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, New Vegas I think it has okay DLC. I like the Think Tank one,
Mm-hmm.
but the main game is just so rich.
Mm-hmm.
There's fucking mysteries everywhere, and I like that.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of games don't think about mysteries. Anthem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Does anybody, I mean, other than you, still play Anthem?
Yeah, I saw a couple other players. It was weird. One dude kept teabagging.
Speaking of online games, I heard that WoW Classic is out now.
All the neckbeards are like, they take out their old keyboard.
Oh, like just Cheeto dust. sprays everywhere.
Like, I like that we had the exact... You know exactly the person I'm picturing. Probably it looks a little bit like me, and I apologize. And the Cheeto dust goes out,
Yeah.
and there's a bard in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Does WoW Classic only have the WoW Classic races?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I want to see a WoW Classic version of a Pandarin, of all things. The Pandaren are kind of awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched Kung Fu Panda, so I don't know how accurate it is to the source material.
My favorite thing, though, is they have actual serious lore, of all things. Yeah, I fell out of Warcraft mainly because I don't want to pay a fucking subscription. I'm stuck at level 10. That fucking sucks. But it does have cool backstory.
Mm-hmm. You know, I've heard that Final Fantasy XIV Online is really worth like paying the monthly subscription for.
Is Elder Scrolls Online worth it?
I haven't heard much about it since for a while. So
I only know about it because I Googled my own Twitter because I forget my name, and there's a text right below. Dunmer, so ugly. That's only how I can picture a person talking how they type.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, 4 DLC, Fallout 4 DLC.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry if it's boring you, dude.
I haven't played Nuka World yet. I haven't gotten to that. I've played Far Harbor, and that's okay. What other ones?
There's Mechatron or Automaton.
Yeah, I haven't played that all the way through. They all kind of just blur into each other. They're not as distinct as like 3 or 4.
Oh yeah, 3. I forgot one. Point and Lookout.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but yeah, that should be my review of Point Lookout. Oh yeah, Point Lookout exists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, what do you think what is the worst thing about just how games have changed recently? Do you think it's the cinematic nature of them?
Yeah, the stories of especially Western AAA games have just gotten worse.
When you said Western, I was like, wait, there's a lot of cowboy games now all of a sudden?
Mm-hmm. Even Red Dead 2, speaking of cowboy games, it kind of had a story that just outweighed the gameplay. And like the gameplay was just not all that good. I know I've said before, but I absolutely despise Rockstar's physics engine that they've been using since GTA 4. If they just made like a retro style GTA game and the GTA 3 engine, I would be like all for that.
Man, maybe just HD GTA 3.
The thing is, there already is, or at least there are mods for that. And,
HDer.
Yeah, I mean, like with improved controls, yeah, I'd be fine with that. I would absolutely love that.
Remember the character 8-Ball?
That was from
3.
Okay, I haven't played 3 that much.
My stepbrother had it, so I'd play it when he'd go to work because I wasn't allowed to play that game. And he's like, yo man, are you okay? He had to fucking steal the car.
Yeah. Out of the GTA 3 era, San Andreas is the only one I played to completion. I've been wanting to play through 3 in Vice City though. I know that Vice City is touted as the best of those 3, but I've also heard a lot of praise for GTA 3.
It's a very, very stylistic game, and it works.
No, it's funny. Thomas uses the word comfy when describing GTA 3. I guess it's because it's a small map with, just I think that like one criticism for open world games right now is
too
like,
big?
yeah, they're too big. It's like too empty, especially with GTA 5. That's like,
Fucking wasteland in
Yeah.
Trevor's area.
yeah, I remember when GTA 4 was being developed, and they said because it was the map size was about as big as GTA San Andreas's map, but the whole thing was a city, and it was like there was more like or less dead space. There was just like everything was it was more condensed, I guess.
You reminded me of a game I really miss, Dead Space.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry, I really got distracted. I'm picturing just the new Dead Space game with modern graphics. How
Yeah.
fucking terrifying that'd be.
uh-huh.
You know how I would do a Dead Space? Can I tell you how I do a Dead Space game? Make it a roguelike in a way, but have procedurally generated monsters. So you start and you meet all these characters who have different traits, and what you don't know is in each run, this character is going to go in this room and try and shut off the engine because of this reason. And make it sort of like a game where the people are just as bad as the necromorphs.
Now, when you say procedurally generated monsters, do you mean like amounts or amount generated, or like the designs?
Both.
Okay, because like with procedural generation, you run the risk of having like certain models of monsters look really goofy.
True, but I mean, like,
'Cause, like-
how I meant it in my head was like, you have the crew on the ship, and what I would do is just like for new prey, you'd have like different faces, but it's the same different face, but monster come down. And this guy in this one might be a slasher, but this next one he might be a hunter or something like that.
Okay.
I like stuff like that.
Because I was thinking more along the lines of No Man's Sky or
Oh
Spore.
no.
Yeah.
Sport didn't have procedurally generated characters.
Yeah, they did.
No, those. You mean what do you mean?
Like that, like different planets had like the different species were.
No, those are all created by Maxis.
Oh.
Every one of those is handmade.
Really?
Yeah. They just suck at it, apparently. I apologize.
Yeah. Okay. I must be remembering it wrong then.
Yeah, I remember because I used to go in there and I used to ruin their creation. Like, this is going to get a dick, and this one gets a dick, and you get a dick. Yeah, these were fun for dicks of people.
It makes you think of Soul Calibur 6, the character creators. Like how all the lizards had, like, they gave them, like, the dicks.
Man, I love Soul Calibur. It's a comfy game in my opinion.
I would love a side scroll, or like what's that Mortal Kombat game, the beat 'em up?
Shaolin Monks.
Like a Soul Calibur version of that.
There was actually one.
Really?
For Wii, you play as Siegfried. Apparently it was awful except for one really cool boss, which is like a giant Astaroth or something, and you'd fucking fight it while it ran around. Yeah, fucking Shaolin Monks though, and you get to play as different characters because fucking Astaroth is best. Squirm, scream.
You think we can wrap it up now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think that this has been a good episode. Just gonna pat myself on the back here.
It took me way too long to realize, like, hey, why isn't my shadow? Oh wait, that's you.
So I've been Tony.
I've been Zach,
And this has been the Monkey Bar.
and now you know how to do it.